Picture this. You're standing at the edge of a dream you've held close for years. A trip to a new corner of the world, where cobblestone streets whisper tales of centuries past, where the scent of fresh-baked bread mingles with blooming lavender, and where the gentle rhythm of ocean waves greets you each morning. Traveling after 70 isn't just a getaway. It's a reward for a life well lived, for the years of hard work, love, and laughter you've poured into the world. But woven into those magical moments are challenges few talk about. Hidden risks that can turn a dream vacation into a journey filled with worry. I once heard about Mary, a 72-year-old retiree from Ohio, who'd spent years saving for a Caribbean cruise. She packed her favorite sundress and her brightest smile, ready for adventure. But just 3 days into the trip, a sudden pain landed her in a foreign hospital, far from home, grappling with a language barrier and a medical bill that left her stunned. Mary's story isn't unique, but it's a wake-up call. Traveling at 70 takes more than excitement. It takes preparation, wisdom, and a touch of caution. Today, over the next 30 minutes, we'll walk you through the 5 biggest risks seniors face when traveling, from unexpected health scares to financial traps no one sees coming. More importantly, we'll share practical tips to make every trip safe, memorable, and truly yours. So, grab a cup of coffee, settle in, and get ready to take notes. If you're ready to travel smarter and safer, drop a comment below with "I'm ready." Let's dive in. Risk 1. Health emergencies and medical complications. Let's start with the first hidden danger, one that can catch even the healthiest seniors off guard. Health emergencies and medical complications. Now, don't get me wrong. Traveling is one of life's greatest joys, a chance to soak in new sights and make memories that last a lifetime. But after 70, your body doesn't always play by the same rules. A minor ache at home can spiral into a serious issue on the road, where stress, new climates, and long days of adventure push you in ways you might not expect. Take John, a 74-year-old from Florida, who was the picture of health. Active, always out golfing with his buddies. He and his wife, Susan, booked a dream trip to Italy, imagining strolls through Tuscan vineyards and gelato under the Roman sun. But on their flight over, John sat for hours in a cramped seat, barely moving. A few days into the trip, his legs started to swell, and a nagging pain crept in. He brushed it off as jet lag, but soon he was gasping for breath. At a local clinic, doctors diagnosed deep vein thrombosis, or DVT, a blood clot formed from sitting too long on the plane. If it had traveled to his lungs, it could have been fatal. John survived, but his trip ended with a $15,000 hospital bill and a long recovery back home. John's story highlights a hard truth. As we age, our bodies respond differently. Long flights or bus rides increase the risk of DVT, where clots form in your legs and can cause life-threatening complications. Then there's air travel itself. Low oxygen levels and dry cabin air can strain your heart or lungs, especially if you have conditions like high blood pressure or COPD. And don't forget altitude. Destinations like Denver or Machu Picchu can leave you dizzy or short of breath if you're not prepared. But the biggest hurdle? Access to care. At home, you know your doctor's number, your pharmacy's hours, and what your insurance covers. Abroad, it's a different story. Some hospitals lack modern equipment, doctors may not speak English, and most U.S. health plans, including Medicare, don't cover international emergencies. A single hospital stay could cost you tens of thousands. So how you stay safe? First, schedule a checkup with your doctor before you go. Make sure you're fit for the journey. Pack extra meds, at least a week's worth, and keep a list of your prescriptions and medical history in your wallet. On flights, get up and move every hour, stretch, walk the aisle, keep the blood flowing. Research hospitals at your destination ahead of time. so you're not scrambling in a crisis. And here's the big one. Get travel insurance that covers medical emergencies, hospital stays, and even medical evacuations. It's not just a safety net, it's peace of mind. Have you ever had a health scare while traveling, or know someone who has? Share your story in the comments. It might help someone else prepare. Risk 2. Exposure to infections and contaminants. Now, let's talk about the second hidden danger that can sneak up on you while traveling. Exposure to infections and contaminants. There's something magical about stepping into a bustling new place. Crowded markets, cozy cafes, the hum of an airport terminal. But those same vibrant spots are teeming with germs, viruses, and bacteria that your body might not be ready to handle. For seniors, what might be a minor sniffle for a younger traveler can turn into a serious health setback. Meet Ellen, a 76-year-old from Texas with a lifelong dream of exploring Southeast Asia. She couldn't wait to savor spicy street food and sip fresh coconut water under swaying palms. On her second day in Vietnam, she tried a colorful salad from a local vendor, complete with a chilled drink full of ice. It felt like a scene from a travel magazine, until the next morning when crippling stomach cramps and nausea hit. Ellen ended up in a local clinic, diagnosed with bacterial gastroenteritis from contaminated food and water. Instead of temple tours and beach sunsets, she spent 4 days recovering, hooked to N4 in a foreign hospital, her dream trip reduced to a blur of worry and regret. Ellen's ordeal points to a reality we don't often think about. As we age, our immune systems weaken, a process called immunosenescence. That means a cold, flu, or foodborne illness hits harder and lingers longer. Airplanes are one of the riskiest spots, hundreds of passengers packed in tight, breathing recycled air for hours. Studies show you're more likely to catch a respiratory bug on a flight, especially with international travelers carrying unfamiliar viruses. And it's not just the air. Those tray tables, seatbelt buckles, and bathroom handles, they're touched by countless hands, rarely deep cleaned between flights. Then there's food and water. That exotic dish might be a culinary adventure, but lower hygiene standards or unfamiliar ingredients can lead to food poisoning. Even tap water, or ice cubes made from it, can carry bacteria that locals handle fine, but send travelers running for the nearest doctor. So, how you protect yourself? Start with a high-quality mask in crowded places like airports, buses, or packed tourist sites. It's a simple shield against airborne germs. Wash your hands often with soap, and keep hand sanitizer handy for when sinks aren't around. Try not to touch your face after handling public surfaces. It's an easy way germs sneak in. When it comes to food and drink, stick to bottled or purified water, even for brushing your teeth, and skip the ice unless you're sure it's safe. Choose restaurants with good hygiene reviews, and steer clear of raw or undercooked foods, no matter how tempting. Pack a small travel kit with essentials like antidiarrheal meds, probiotics, and electrolyte packets. They could be a lifesaver if your stomach rebels. Have you ever gotten sick on a trip or dodge a close call with some sketchy food? Drop your story in the comments. It could save someone else's vacation. Risk 3. Travel fatigue and recovery challenges. Let's move on to the third hidden danger that can quietly steal the joy from your travels. Travel fatigue and recovery challenges. We all picture vacation as a time to recharge, sipping coffee at a Parisian cafe, marveling at ancient ruins, or just soaking in the view from a cozy hotel balcony. But for seniors, the reality of travel can be exhausting. Long flights, packed itineraries, and unfamiliar surroundings can drain your energy in ways that hit harder after 70, leaving you more vulnerable to illness, confusion, or even injury. Consider Robert, a 75-year-old from Colorado who'd always dreamed of a grand European adventure. He and his wife, Linda, planned a whirlwind 2-week tour across 6 cities. London, Paris, Rome, you name it. They were thrilled to check every landmark off their bucket list. But by day 4, Robert was running on empty. Early morning flights, hours of walking on uneven cobblestone streets, and sleepless nights in noisy hotels left him aching and irritable. Halfway through, he caught a cold that lingered because he was too tired to rest properly. By the time they got home, Robert needed weeks to recover, and their dream trip felt more like a marathon than a vacation. Robert's story shows how quickly travel fatigue can take over. Unlike younger folks who might bounce back after a good night's sleep, seniors often need more time to recharge. Disrupted sleep is a big culprit. Unfamiliar hotel beds, jet lag from crossing time zones, or even street noise can make rest elusive. Jet lag, especially, can throw your body's rhythm off for days, leaving you groggy and unfocused. Then there's the physical toll. Sightseeing often means hours of walking or standing, sometimes on tricky surfaces like museum marble or historic stone paths. For those with arthritis, back pain, or mobility issues, this can lead to soreness, swelling, or worse, a higher risk of falls. So, how do you keep your energy up and your trip enjoyable? Plan smarter, not harder. Choose a slower itinerary with fewer stops, maybe 3 cities instead of 6, and build in rest days to recharge. Book accommodations in quieter areas, away from bustling tourist zones, to ensure better sleep. Opt for flights with reasonable hours, no red ice or crack of dawn departures. Stay hydrated, eat balanced meals, and wear supportive, comfortable shoes to ease the strain on your joints. If jet lag's a concern, take short naps to adjust, but keep them under 30 minutes to avoid messing with your sleep cycle. Most importantly, listen to your body. It's okay to skip a museum or linger over lunch instead of rushing to the next site. Have you ever felt wiped out on a trip or found a trick to stay energized? Share your experience in the comments. It might inspire someone else. Risk 4. Higher risk of falls and injuries. Now, let's turn to the 4th hidden danger that can turn a dream trip into a nightmare. The higher risk of falls and injuries. Traveling is all about exploring, wandering through charming old towns, climbing steps to breathtaking viewpoints, or strolling along a scenic boardwalk. But for seniors, a single misstep can lead to far more than a bruised ego. As we age, our balance, reflexes, and muscle strength naturally weaken, making falls a serious concern, especially in unfamiliar places. Take Margaret, a 78-year-old from Minnesota who loved her daily walks around her quiet neighborhood. She'd always dreamed of visiting the historic streets of Savannah, Georgia, with its moss-draped oaks and charming squares. On her second evening, she was enchanted by the city's beauty, but as she strolled down a dimly lit sidewalk, she missed an uneven curb and fell hard onto the pavement. The pain in her wrist was immediate and sharp. With help from kind passers-by, she made it to a local hospital, where X-rays revealed a fractured wrist. Her trip was cut short, and she faced surgery and months of physical therapy back home. What should have been a joyful adventure became a painful, costly ordeal that left her mobility forever changed. Margaret's story is a stark reminder of the challenges seniors face on the road. Travel destinations, especially historic ones, are full of hazards. Uneven cobblestone streets, steep staircases, slippery tiles in hotel bathrooms, or scenic trails with no handrails. Cruise ships, while convenient, have their own risks: wet decks, narrow hallways, and floors that shift with the waves. Fatigue makes it worse. When you're tired, your coordination suffers, and the chance of stumble spikes. For those with arthritis, osteoporosis, or mobility issues, the stakes are even higher. And unlike at home, where help is a quick call away, Getting proper care in a new place can be slow, confusing, or even unavailable. So, how do you stay steady and safe? Start by choosing destinations with accessibility in mind. Hotels with elevators, ramps, and smooth walkways are a must. Wear sturdy, non-slip shoes that support your feet, like well-cushioned sneakers, not flimsy sandals. Pay attention to your energy levels. Overdoing it increases your risk, so take breaks and rest when you need to. If balance is a concern, consider a collapsible cane or walking stick for extra stability. They're easy to pack and can make a huge difference. Stick to well-lit areas, especially at night, and avoid unfamiliar or poorly maintained paths. And don't skip travel insurance. Make sure it covers injuries and emergency medical care, because a single fall can come with a hefty price tag. Have you ever had a close call with a fall while traveling, or know someone who has? Share your story in the comments. It could help others stay safe. Risk 5. Financial risks and travel insurance gaps. Let's wrap up with the fifth and final hidden danger, one that can hit where it hurts most: financial risks and travel insurance gaps. Planning a trip is exciting. Booking flights, picking hotels, dreaming about the sights you'll see. But beneath the fun lies a reality few seniors think about. One unexpected mishap, from a medical emergency to a scam, could drain your savings faster than you'd ever imagine. For those over 70, these financial traps are especially risky, as health surprises and scammers often target older travelers. Picture George, a 76-year-old from Arizona, who'd spent months planning his dream beach getaway to Costa Rica. He found what looked like a steal online, a beautiful oceanfront condo at a price that seemed too good to pass up. The website had glowing reviews, and the photos screamed paradise. Eager to lock it in, George paid for a week's stay up front, non-refundable. But when he arrived, his heart sank. The address led to a run-down lot, not a condo, and the booking site had vanished overnight. Stranded, George scrambled to find a last-minute hotel at triple the cost, turning his dream trip into a stressful, expensive mess. George's story shines a light on the financial pitfalls of travel. First, there's medical costs. Many seniors assume their Medicare or private health insurance will cover them abroad, but most don't. Medicare rarely covers anything outside the U.S., and private plans often exclude international care. A hospital stay in Europe could run you $5,000 to $20,000, and a medical evacuation flight home? That's $50,000 to $200,000 out of pocket. Then there's trip cancellations. Life is unpredictable. A sudden illness or family emergency can force you to cancel. But airlines, hotels, and tour companies often have strict no-refunded policies. You could lose thousands on a trip you never take. And don't forget scams. Older travelers are prime targets for crooks, fake vacation rentals, credit card skimmers at shady ATMs, or taxi drivers running up the meter with scenic routes. Some scammers even offer free gifts, like a souvenir or a tour, only to demand outrageous fees later. These tricks can leave you stressed and out of pocket in a place far from home. So, how do you protect your wallet? Get comprehensive travel insurance. Look for a policy that covers medical emergencies, trip cancellations, lost luggage, and evacuations. Check your current health insurance. If it doesn't cover international travel, buy supplemental travel health insurance. Book through trusted platforms like Expedia, Booking.com, or directly with hotels, and be wary of deals that seem too good to be true. Use credit cards with fraud protection. They often include some travel insurance and can help dispute shady charges. Limit cash withdrawals and avoid standalone ATMs in touristy areas, which are more likely to be tampered with. And if someone offers you a free gift or deal out of the blue, politely walk away. It's probably a trap. Have you ever been caught by a travel scam or faced unexpected costs on a trip? Share your experience in the comments. It might save someone else a headache. As we come to the end of our journey today, let's take a moment to reflect. Traveling after 70 is more than just a chance to see the world. It's a celebration of your life stories, a way to weave new memories into the tapestry of who you are. But as we've seen, it's not without its challenges. From health emergencies that can strike without warning to infections lurking in crowded places, from the exhaustion of a packed itinerary to the risk of a fall on unfamiliar ground, and finally, to financial traps that can turn a dream trip into a costly lesson. These are the hidden dangers every senior traveler needs to know. But here's the good news. Every single one of these risks can be managed with a little planning and a lot of wisdom. Think back to John, who faced a terrifying health scare in Italy, or Ellen, who lost days to illness in Vietnam. Remember Robert, drained by a whirlwind tour, Margaret, whose fall changed her mobility, and George, who fell victim to a cruel scam. Their stories aren't warnings to stop traveling. They're reminders to travel smarter. A checkup before you go, a well-packed travel kit, a slower pace, sturdy shoes, and the right insurance can make all the difference between a trip you'll cherish and one you'll regret. So, before you book your next adventure, here's your game plan. Schedule that doctor's visit to ensure you're ready for the road. Pack extra medications, a list of your prescriptions, and a high-quality mask for crowded spots. Choose destinations with accessibility in mind. Think elevators, smooth paths, and well-lit streets. Plan a relaxed itinerary with plenty of downtime, and double-check that your travel insurance covers medical emergencies, cancellations, and more. Book through trusted sites, keep an eye out for scams, and trust your instincts. If a deal feels too good to be true, it probably is. Most importantly, listen to your body and your heart. Travel isn't about checking off every site. It's about savoring the moments that make you feel alive. As you prepare for your next trip, picture yourself standing at the edge of a new horizon. Maybe it's the Grand Canyon at sunrise, a quiet cafe in Paris, or a beach where the waves sing you to sleep. Those moments are worth every bit of preparation. Don't let fear hold you back. Let knowledge guide you forward. We'd love to hear from you. What's the biggest lesson you've taken from today's video? Have you faced a travel challenge that taught you something new? Or do you have a tip to share? Drop it in the comments below, and let's inspire each other. If this video helped you feel more prepared, give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you never miss our tips for safe, smart senior travel. And if you're ready to hit the road with confidence, leave a comment saying, "I'm ready." Thank you for joining us today. Here's to safe travels and unforgettable adventures.